Hi friends, I'm Jennifer Scott and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for being here. Today we're just gonna do a get ready with me. I have a few new products, but I wanted to keep it a little natural. So if you're interested in how I made this face happen, stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, I was in Sephora a couple weeks ago when I had first heard that Becca was going to be no longer as of some date in September, and I was kind of freaking out and kind of having that panic like, oh my God, I need to get. Now they didn't have a lot of things that I don't already have, so I calmed myself down and decided to just start picking up things that I had used in the past that I loved that I no longer have. So the first thing I got was this here. This is the Becca First Light Primer. I used to wear the crap out of this. And admittedly so, when I first bought it years ago, I had gotten it because I had a sample and I liked the sample, but honestly, I friggin' loved that it was purple. I thought it was the prettiest thing in the world. I mean, you know, you see purple and, well, we don't want our face to be purple, but oh God, it's so appealing. And honestly, I bought it because of what it actually does for my skin. So for my skin, which is usually normal to somewhat combo, I can get oily in the T-zone. This is so lovely. So it's hydrating because it has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's also kind of nourishing because it has vitamin E in it. So your skin isn't going to start to feel like it's drying out over the day. It's just going to remain feeling like soft and, you know, hydrated. And isn't that what we want? And because I'm gonna miss Becca so much, I definitely had to pick up one of these. $39 for an ounce seems like kind of a lot for a primer, but it is so pretty. As a matter of fact, it's so pretty that on your no makeup days, you can just put it on your skin when it's feeling kind of like dull and tired looking, and it just wakes up your skin, gives it a luminosity. It's not sparkly or glittery or shiny. It just kind of gives it a lovely, gentle glow. You're not gonna be a disco ball. You're just gonna be you, only a little glowier. All right, let's get this hair out of the way because, ugh, cute. Now I already have my skincare on, so I'm just gonna go in with one pump of this. One pump is all I need because I don't find that this is something that, you know, you put on your face and just sticks. It moves around gently, easily. Now, of course, you know, the minute I start touching my face, it gets red because I'm reactive. I'm not sensitive to this. I just pink up when I touch my face. Now I hope you can see my skin looks a little brighter, and because I'm gonna go with like a lighter application, hopefully, of my foundation today, it's going to help my foundation still be radiant. So hopefully I won't be having that like heavy, cakey look. I will look light and glowy like an angel. So the next thing I picked up from Fenty was their Match Stick Contour Stick in the shade Amber. Now, these have been out for a minute. People have used them and loved them and raved about them. I'm not huge into contour. I will contour now and then, but I thought, you know what? Getting a good color for contour is kind of a challenge. And as you can see, this has kind of a grayish, cool undertone. And that's what, well, a lot of people, me especially, need for contour. I don't want to be too orange or too brown if I'm going to contour. I need the grayness to give me the shadow. Now, I'm not going to do my nose today. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a cheekbone. And I'm going to do it under my foundation because it's going to blend nicer that way. So let's go in. Now, I'm just going to go from the mid of my cheek and back. And you can see, easy, right? It's nice and soft, this product. Very smooth. And I'm actually going to use an old foundation brush to just press it in a little bit and blend it. And I'm gonna blend up and just bring it out a little bit, just a little bit. There, that's all I need for right now. Same with the other side. I'm going to blend it up into my hairline, press it in, and just bring it forward just the slightest amount. But definitely a blending up. Now it's not completely blended yet because I'm going to put my foundation over it, but you can already see I have a little bit of cheekbone now. And at $25 for these beauties, they're totally worth it. Actually, let's see how much product we get for $25. It's not a lot, but I think this is going to go a pretty far distance. I only had to do like 2 swipes on each side, so I didn't really use that much to begin with. As of late, I have been doing my eyebrows before I do my foundation and powder. That way my other products don't kind of stick to the hairs, because I love using, you know this, my Anastasia Brow Freeze. And because it is a little sticky for a bit, your other products can stick in there very easily and then kind of like muddy the way they look. So I'm going to go in with just a little bit of this, because today I'm trying to have a slightly more natural everyday look. So just like I've shown you before, put it on the back of, well, on the cap, rub it back and forth, up and down to really coat the brush. You don't need a lot of product. You do need to make sure your brush is well coated. And then first I'm going to drag the brows down so I'm getting those little hairs on their underneath side. And then I will coax them up the way I want them. And as we know, I have thin, sparse brows, so this is always a project. So I'm going to leave them like they are for now, looking kind of crazy. I'm going to let them dry down, and then in a little bit, I will go in with a pencil and just fill in the sparser areas. I'm going to go in with my concealer, because I just have been liking the way it looks when I do my concealer and then my foundation over top. I just feel like it blends really nicely. All I want is just to brighten up my under eyes. I really don't need to have that like heavy, like super highlighted under eye look. I just want them to be a little brighter. And I'm still loving my Jones Road Beauty pencils, especially for around my nose. It does such a great job at just canceling out the redness. And all I have to do is just pat it in. It's so easy. Redness all gone. And again, I'm not looking for like a perfect snatched face today. I'm just looking for, you know, an everyday pretty face. Foundation, you know the drill, my tried and true. I haven't found anything recently that I like better than this, but I do think it's time to start trying some other ones, like seriously, because let's face it, I need to find something else. I can't always rely on one, or can I? Now I find it's best, especially if you want a more natural look, is to start from the center and blend out. And I'm not looking to cover up all my sins, but just even out my tone. And you can see that the contour is still there on both sides, but it blends really nicely under the foundation. Still giving me that shadow, so you think I have some cheekbones. So I literally just used less than a whole pump on my entire face, because I wanted to keep it natural and glowy, and I think we did that. And now to just make sure that everything is blended in, I'm just going over with my damp beauty blender, pushing the product in and making sure it is seamless. Now I don't want a cakey, dull looking face, but I do want to set my face so that it does last throughout the day. And I was running low on my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, so I wanted to try something new. I mean, I have been using that for years, so it was time to try something new. So I picked up from Fenty Beauty their Pro Instant Filter Retouch setting powder, I believe it's called. I got the shade Butter, so I think there's 9 shades. This is the second lightest shade. The very lightest shade is Lavender, and I was a little worried very often, especially if I use any sort of like lavender hued blush or lavender hued eyeshadow, it can translate as gray on me, so I didn't want to do that. I have used this once before, and actually I didn't like it for setting under my eyes. I didn't feel like it was brightening enough. So I am going to pick up the Lavender. They do have smaller ones. This size here was $32. It's almost an ounce. They do have minis that are $18, and I'm going to pick up the Lavender and that one for setting my under eye, because it might give a brightening effect under there. So let's give it. The shade is very light, but it does have a slight yellow hue to it, which I was a little concerned about at first because yellow is not my shade for makeup. I'm going to use a fluffy brush. I'm going to really put it in there, swirl it around, and then tap it off. And I just want to set lightly, and that's all I need. Now, I've only used it once before. I liked it. I felt like my makeup lasted nicely throughout the day. I didn't get shiny. I didn't use a lot, so it wasn't cakey. I think I like it. So recently I did a video on Jaclyn Hill's bronze and blushing duos. I have the Pink Me Up and Oh Honey duo, which I really like very much. They are definitely my shades, so in my ongoing test, we're gonna wear them again. Now, I really like this because it was a lighter shade of bronzer that, well, I didn't have this color in my collection before. And I thought it would be nice to, well, have some variety. And for me, this shade here is perfect for everyday, you know, kind of casual makeup. I do want to get one of these in a deeper shade. Well, as deep as I can go. But I think what's so nice about it, for me, at least in this particular shade, is that I think I'm going to be able to wear it in the summertime and I'll look natural. And of course, now in with the shade Pink Me Up. Now, I haven't been doing blush so much right on the apples of my cheeks, but today I'm just feeling it. And truth be told, on camera, it actually looks better if you do your blush on top of your cheekbones and bring it up higher. However, I'm not living my whole day on camera. I'm actually going to live the rest of my day in my house without my camera. So I just want to look fresh and bright and youthful and glowy. So, sorry. Not sorry. Have I mentioned how much I love the mirror in here? It is so big and actually useful. Thank you, Jaclyn. There we go. I think I'm looking fresh and sun-kissed and a little pinked up. Now, I'm only going to use just a little bit of my Painterly Paint Pot because I'm not doing like really an all-over eye look. I just want for the little bit of shadow I'm using to be able to stick. Now, because I'm going super natural, I'm going to use my Makeup by Mario palette, and I'm going to use this shade over here just to do in the crease. And I'm also going to take that same shade and go under my eyelash line. And because I absolutely must have some sparkle and shine, I'm going to use my Natasha Denona. This is the number 8 palette. I'm going to use this center color here. I believe it's called Golden Rose. And I'm just going to go all over the lid with it, just to give a little bit of color, but mostly some sparkle and shine. And using like a brush like this that is a little fluffier is going to help the color not be so intense. It's going to help me just have like that subtle wash of color, but still allow there to be the sparkle and shine. Now, this isn't a glittery formula. It's almost a duochrome because there is a shift with the gold undertones along with this like peachy pink color. Now, if I wanted it to have a more intense effect, of course, I could have just stuck my finger in the pan and just wiped it out of my eye, and it would have been like a heavier, more intense like effect, but that's not what I wanted today. And then I'm going to use this kind of dark shade here. I think it's called Smoky Quartz. I'm going to use that just to slightly go in the lash line to give kind of a, you know, a lined effect to my eyes, but not overlined. So just pushing that into my lash line, just to give them some oomph. And it is such like a subtle thing to do, but I think it makes a real difference. Can you see the difference between the unlined side and the lined side? Where are all of you in your quarantine makeup journey? Have you like gotten back at it? Are you doing full faces? Or have you really pared it down to like nothing? To bare necessities? Yeah, I have lots of days where there's nothing, and then I have days where I can't help myself. Now, if you saw my Jaclyn Hill video, you know that this loose highlighter in the shade Extra blew my mind. So I'm only using this because it is crazy blingy in the corners and maybe a little bit under the brows, but oh my God. This is so brightening and so pretty. I mean, I haven't even shaken any more out. This is the same that's been like in the little sifter since, you know, the day I got it and I opened it and I just shook it a little bit. I haven't needed to use any more. I think I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. I mean, that's just a tiny little bit. Ooh. Are you guys like inner corner highlighters? For me, it's become one of those things that, ooh, she went overboard. For me, it's become one of those things that if I don't do it, I totally notice it. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's missing? So I only used what was on the brush to do on my brow bones because I didn't want them to be like screaming and blinding, but I just wanted a little pop there. God, this stuff is so pretty. Now I'm just going to fill in a little bit of the hairs with my Glossier Brow Flick. It's in the color blonde. And the funny thing is, it's pretty dark for a blonde. I feel like I need to like see if they have lighter shades because even on me, it's a little severe, but let's do it. I'm doing my best to be light-handed. The thing with this is I find that I have to shake it a lot and I actually have to wipe the little brush on the back of my hand because it picks up other products because it's wet and then it's almost like it clogs. So I have to, if there's like any powder that gets on these little bristles, I have to wipe them off. Otherwise the product doesn't really come out. I have to stop before I make it worse. All right, so far I think I'm doing a pretty good job at keeping it natural, keeping it toned down. We know I can go a little overboard. I'm doing my best. Now, before I started the video, I put on my Dior Lip Glow Oil. I just love this stuff so much. You guys know that. But here's the thing. I have another oil that I'm going to be using. This is from Merit Beauty. This is in the shade Pink Beet, I believe. Yep, and it's $24. It's less than 1/4 of an ounce, which, oh God, that's the one thing that really has me annoyed with Merit Beauty is the sizes of their products is really small. So the prices are really high. Come on, like really? And I mean, it even seems like you're getting a decent amount, but when you look at the packaging, which is really, really pretty packaging, and don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. However, it's kind of an optical illusion. So you are getting less product than you even think. It's super annoying. So here's the thing. In theory, I love lip oils. I'm looking for them to do two things for me. I want them to soften my lips, I want them to last, and I want them to leave behind a stain. Well, that isn't everything I have found with this one. I did wear it once before. It did soften my lips, but it did not last very long and it didn't leave behind a stain. Now I'm not going to line my lips because here again, she's trying to be natural today. Now, as you can tell, it has a lovely pigment to it. I love the shade very much. I love that it's glossy. I like the color. I like the tone. It feels really lovely. I just wish it lasted longer and I wish that it left behind a stain, but I'm still going to use it. Now, before I go in with my mascara, I'm going to use a finishing powder. This is the Jaclyn Hill Loose Powder in the shade Brighten Up. As you can tell, my fingerprints have been all over this, so it's looking gross. But oh my God, this powder. So when I tried it for the first time, I found that it was the most beautiful finishing powder of all time. Like, I couldn't get over how beautiful this made my skin look. But then I tried just concentrating it as a highlighter, and it was a gorgeous highlighter too. Somehow this product is able to do two completely different things beautifully. All right, so I'm just going to, oh my God, look at that. I mean, it's like instant creamy skin. It just brings everything together and makes it so creamy and soft and smooth and luminous. I mean, this stuff, it's friggin' magic. I mean, come on. So beautiful, so beautiful. Now I'm going to take it on a tiny brush and do the bridge of my nose. I mean, do you see that? Do you see that highlight on my nose? That's the exact same powder. Like, how does it do two things? And now I'm going to take it on a slightly fluffier brush and use that to highlight my cheekbones. Just a little bit though. That's all I need. I don't care what anybody says, Jacqueline figured this powder out. That's the other thing I have no room for. Just like the shadiness of some people online, especially influencers who, you know, gotta have something negative to say about everybody. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, an influencer who is working hard to put out their own line, more power to them. It is a lot of hard work. I don't honestly think I'm ever gonna do that sort of thing. That's not even like a dream, a goal, a plan at all for me. I just like playing with this stuff. But for all those bitches who have something negative to say about, especially this line of Jacqueline's, I think they're just jealous because so far I found these products to be just amazing. And honestly, I'm just a mom sitting in her bedroom talking to you guys about makeup that I love, makeup that I'm trying. So I think that my perspective has some validity because I'm a makeup girl who's like you, who probably just has a few more products than you. And when I find something that is amazing and that I love, you betcha I'm going to tell you about it and go on and on and on about it, because if there's a product that's great, you deserve to know about it, and not just by listening to some hate, because that's annoying. All right, today I decided to go back to an oldie but goodie for my mascara. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, which I love, and I haven't used in, well, quite some time because I've been trying out so many other mascaras. But this here is a never fails, always a winner for me. Okay, mascara done. Let's take out these hair clips and see where we have landed. So if I were still going to my office job every day, this 100% would be the exact makeup look I would be doing probably most mornings, because for me it's lovely, it's simple, it's basic, it's pretty colors, and it's easy. Now my natural look might be a little more than yours, but it takes me a little more to look natural than the average girl. But overall, I'm super pleased with this. I'm so pleased with all the products that I used. Obviously, I'm going to keep on using them. And if I were still going to the office, I would have this Merit Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil just sitting on my desk. There would be one that just lived on my desk for reapplications several times throughout the day, because it does feel nice. The shade is pretty. I do like it. I just wish there was more product for the price, and I wish that it left behind more of a stain as it wore off. But other than that, it is really lovely. So I'm feeling natural yet put together. I want to go out without a mask on, but I can't yet. But when I can, this is what I'm going to be looking like if you see me in the streets. All right, so tell me what you think in the comments below. Is my natural look a little more than what you would do for natural? If there are any of these products that you're currently enjoying, let me know. And if you have questions about any of them, leave them also in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk to you about them. Well, I want to thank you so much for being with me while I got ready for my natural day, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you real soon. Mwah.